All right, guys, thank you for joining me this morning. So, clearly, we have a lot of shit to talk about. We have the interest rate is going to get hiked up today, or probably already has been hiked up today. That's probably one of the biggest concerns right now because of the lasting and damaging effects that this will have once the interest rate goes up again. Christian Prepper, thank you for the 5x5. So, guys, with that, let's jump into it. So, the Federal Reserve is expected Wednesday, today, to announce the largest interest rate hike since 1994. Central banks is considered likely to raise its benchmark short-term rate by 0.75 point. Far larger than the typical quarter point increase. So normally, guys, it's a quarter point. This is 0.75 of a point, which is really high. I guess that's pretty bad. According to I guess he was a financial analyst. I really don't know what the fuck he was. It was a white guy in a suit on TV. And he says that it's a blunt tool, raising it. Whenever you raise the interest rate, he says it's a blunt tool. They're trying to quell a recession. The problem is, guys, you and we all know that they cannot stop this recession. This recession is going up. It's going to happen. So it doesn't matter how many times they raise the interest rate. It does matter how many times they raise it, but it's not going to stop what's coming. And what's coming is the depression. I wholeheartedly believe, guys, that if there's depression around the corner, they keep calling it a recession. I think we are in a recession now. They just don't want to call it that. Carbon Q, thank you for joining us today. But we are definitely going to see a recession very soon, probably in another month or so. And by the end of the year, if shit don't calm down, we're going to see a depression. So, guys, with that, it will also likely, guys, forecast a large interest rate hike through the end of the year. So this is going to be one of many large increases throughout the year. And they're expecting them to forecast this, but it's not written in stone. So a serious sizable increase would heighten borrowing costs for consumers and businesses, likely leading to an economic slowdown, raising the risk of a recession, like I said earlier. Now, yeah, guys, interestingly enough, right, I went for a loan for my truck, and though I have a considerable amount of money being put down on it, I don't have to borrow that much, at least not as much as I thought I would. But I was trying to get this loan before they did this interest hike. And they're announcing it today, so I don't know if it goes into effect today or it goes into effect next week. That makes all of the difference. But nonetheless, guys, a lot of us are going to be feeling the pinch, especially those of us looking at the housing market. Now, the housing market is probably going to be out of reach for me, or a lot of us who are looking to move, for a little while, because this interest rate is going to make that harder for us to afford a home, or at the very least take out a loan for a house. So, the Fed's previous rate hikes have already had effect of raising mortgage rates roughly 2% point since the year began, and have slowed home sales, or home buying rather, So now this is all but going to drive the nail in the coffin for the housing market as far as new homeowners go. And even those looking to buy a second or third home, this is definitely going to damage that prospect, if you will. We had to buy a new truck. Not cool. Yeah, Northern Girl Hobbies. Listen, I was all for my truck. I was like, oh man, I'm getting a new truck. Now I'm like, motherfucker. It's just like, so I'm like, well, maybe I could downgrade to the Telluride. It's better on gas and it's a lot less expensive. But again, I haven't bought the truck yet. I am seriously considering downgrading from that size of a truck. And whatever. It's it was supposed to be my retirement vehicle, but I got to be responsible. With that being said, guys, for those of you in the chat, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down, whatever floats your boat. You know how it goes, the algorithm and all that other bullshit. And by the way, making another announcement, the Angry Homesteader, she lost her channel yesterday, so she has the Angry Homesteader 2. For those of you that haven't subscribed to her channel, or have subscribed to her channel but haven't realized that she lost her channel, do me a favor and like and subscribe to her channel. So, guys, with that, we're in deep shit. I mean, that's all it comes down to. We're in deep shit. We're getting this fucking interest rate hike. And it's funny, man, when it happened before when we were kids, a lot of us were kids, and we had no care in the world. We're like, fuck it. Doesn't, not that fuck it doesn't affect us. We weren't paying attention to it. But now we are all older, and we're watching something that probably hasn't happened in American history, at least not like this. We've seen interest rate hikes before, but not at 3/4 and not this bad. Kevin Grip, thank you for the donation. So, guys, the European Central Bank is expected to raise its rate as well by 1/4% in July. That's next month. It's the first increase in 11 years. It could announce a large hike in September if record high levels of inflation keep going up. So, if inflation's in Europe, guys, on that side of the world keep going up, they're going to announce a large hike. I hate to see what that large hike is. And the fact that they mentioned a large hike, it's going up 1/4. So a large hike for them would either be half or 3/4, like we are. Now, keep in mind, guys, this is all to not negate, this is all to quell or stop the recession. But we all know, watching everything going on, it's not going to stop the recession. Actually, it's going to kick us all in the dick very, very hard. So, how do we prepare for this? Well, this is why we prep, guys. This is why we keep putting food away. The interest rate is going to affect a lot of things. Rent, gas, clothing, medical care, airline fares, and airline fares, sorry. Now, airline fares, obviously a lot of us could do without. We could not travel. Unfortunately for me, I have to travel a few times in the next couple of months. So I'll be taking a hit with that as well. Rent, obviously, that's going to go up next year and the year after that, especially here in New York. Even though we have that rent stabilization, it's still going to increase as much. Now, if we move, rent's going to be cheaper, but wherever we move to, they don't have rent stabilization, so we could be getting fucked on that end as well. Listen, guys, a lot of us are going to get fucked, and I'm not making it about myself, but a lot of us are going to get fucked. I'm just using myself as the example. So, guys, on Friday, the government reported that the year-over-year inflation accelerated unexpectedly in May to 8.6%, the highest such levels in 4 decades. Now, some people are saying that the inflation rate is higher than 8%. Some people say it's at 11. I don't know why they keep reporting 8.6. Some people rationalize why it's 11, and it makes sense. But nonetheless, guys, 11%, it's still fucking high, and it's still going to crash our economy. And that's what they're actually trying to head off. They're trying to head off the economy crashing. And I don't see that happening. Again, what do? We keep fucking putting food away. Matter of fact, for those of you that have small kids, start buying clothing now. Start buying clothes for your kids in larger sizes. I know that kids grow like fucking weeds, so just buy what you can when you can. Even if you have to go to the dollar store, buy them clothes at the dollar store, guys, but put clothes away because clothes is going to be exponentially high. At gas and food, and it's closer to 8 to 20%. Small towns, that's why they said it was at 11, because they weren't calculating right food and gas. Now, yes, Hudson Valley, food is at a 14% hike all across the board. Again, guys, Program Prepper, yes, exactly. Shoes too, guys. Do not forget the shoes. Thank you, Program Prepper. Shoes are very important. Again, feet. There's a problem with clothing, and there's a problem with shoes, because shoes, your kid can make a jump from one size to the next, and if you're gonna buy shoes, go to Walmart or Target. Go to the cheap shoes section. Sorry, tongue twister, and buy them a couple sizes if you can. They're pretty. Those shoes are pretty cheap, but they are also built pretty cheap. So keep that in mind as well. You can save money by stop eating. You can save money by skipping a meal. Yeah, that's for sure. And guys, I already said Americans are already in June, or rather it was May, talking about skipping meals. That was last month and this month. What do you think is going to happen by the end of this year? The end of this year, guys, we're absolutely going to see some serious starvation, or we're going to see people absolutely skipping a meal or two by the end of this year. If this keeps going down this road. Now, I definitely see this continuing down this path. I don't see it stopping. I don't see any kind of relief in sight. And again, and I hate to bring this up, but Trump was right. Trump was trying to make us more self-reliant. And even though the self-reliantness of our country would have taken a few years to get there, at least we would have been headed down that road already. But we are not headed down that road. We are at a standstill with this current administration. And this current administration is not looking for a way to get us out of this solution. With that being said, guys, it looks like we're in for a long, rough ride. Inflation has spread to nearly every corner of the economy, with costs rising, like I said before, in rent, clothes, medical care, airline fares. Now, again, airline fares, guys, we can cut that out. A lot of us don't have to travel. Some of us travel for work. Well, maybe we'll have to. I think airline flights are probably cheaper than driving at this point. I don't know. Depends on the state you live and depends on what state you're going to. But if you can do without flying, if you can cancel your trips, do so. I know, like I said before, we're going to Iceland. I'm hoping this Iceland trip is going to happen. But if things keep going the way it's going, I don't know if Iceland's going to happen. Because if they raise their rates in Europe, and they do it again by September, or rather August is when we're going, so we might beat that one. We might beat that interest rate. But nonetheless, if you're taking a trip, start putting more money away for that trip. Because again, this is going to get bad. So with that, guys, next subject we're going to talk about, the Pope states that World War III has begun. Or rather, he says World War III has been declared, and this is in his opinion. The Pope states, and I know a lot, I don't even like the Pope. I know a lot of you guys don't like him. But the Pope states, a few years ago, it occurred to me to say that we were living through a Third World War in pieces. Now, for me, the Third World War has been declared. And this is an aspect that should make us reflect. What is happening to humanity that has the 3 world wars in a century? Sorry. What is happening in humanity has to have 3 world wars happen in 1 century. So he's right. In a span of, I guess, 100 years, we've had 3 world wars. Being that this one is starting or we're in that direction, where has humanity gone in the last 100 years for us to be in 3 world wars? I know that people are saying it's not declared yet. It has started, right? We've seen the same thing with World War II and World War I, right? We've seen these same events, if you will, unfold. And here we are with the possibility of a Third World War. Now, we all know that a Third World War, guys, it's nuclear. It's always been spoken about that. It's always been spoken that the Third World War would be the nuclear war. And the Fourth World War will be fought with sticks and stones, right? Albert Einstein. Anyway, guys, he also states they are barking at NATO. They are barking at the gates of Russia, and they don't understand that Russians are imperial and don't allow foreign powers to get close to them. And concluded by saying that the situation could lead to war. The head of states knew how to read the signs, what was happening, but did nothing. I ad-libbed that part and I added that part in. He said the heads of states have been watching this, whether it's Russia, Ukraine, the UK, United States, Japan, Russia, China. We're all watching this thing unfold slowly, and no one did anything about it. Now, as far as, again, my bone to pick with Russia is telling another country where they can put arms or how close they can put it to their border. It's their country. They do what the fuck they want. I mean, if Russia didn't do it, then I guess they have a point. But Russia has put arms or missiles, if you will, close to certain borders. over years of their bullshit, if you will, their constant battles or taking overs of other countries. So I don't know. I mean, maybe Russia felt threatened, and this is why we're here, or maybe Russia is just full of shit and looking for excuses like they always have. With that, guys, nonetheless, we have a Great Depression around the corner, or rather a recession around the corner, or the Great Recession, whatever you want to call it. And then we have the talk of World War III. We had the four horsemen of the apocalypse being released, according to a Russian politician. So yeah, guys, it's all going according to plan. JD, I was thinking that I think Israel and Iran are the curveball. They're the wild card, if you will. Rather, sorry. That's what my buddy was telling me the other day. He was like, "Yo, Russia and Iran are the wild cards. They can absolutely set off the Third World War." So, yeah. Well, Hudson Valley, yeah, the Pope is not an idiot. I mean, like I said, I don't like the dude, but he's not an idiot. And, yeah, and we're all paying attention. We're all watching what's going on, and it's biblical. I mean, how do you not listen? I'm not religious. We all know this, right? I'm agnostic, if you will. I do question a lot of things that happen, and I'm like, that's got to be God, right? But I also question other things and goes, well, that's just science. With that being said, looking at everything going on, guys, it is fucking truly biblical shit, right? It's in the Bible for all of the things we're going through and about to go through. And I hate to say that. I hate to be the guy fucking to bring that to light or even mention it. But I'm like, yo, it was a fortune teller. It was like an 8-ball. You shake it and they're like, oh, we're gonna go to war soon. Shake the 8-ball, and that's what the Bible is. The Bible's telling you what's going on. With that, man, yeah, and to be fair, you don't have to be religious, guys, to look at this shit and go, all right, you know what, this is bad. Yes, let's talk prepping. By the way, Linda, I emailed you back. Sorry for not getting back to you last Wednesday, but I did get back to you in an email last night or earlier yesterday. So I did send an email back so we could set up the interview. But thank you for being here as well. Let's talk prepping. Who's Linda? So yeah, guys, I don't want to get all religious and biblical. That's not who I am. But I'm just pointing out some of the things that are very similar in the Bible. With that being said, guys, switching over, gas theft is going up. Gas theft is going to be an alarming problem. We are going to see some serious shit, guys, with gas theft. Yeah, protect your gas, man. I don't know. That's what it comes down to. It's interesting that people are being more clever when it comes to stealing gas. All right. Autoimmune Prepper, thank you for joining us today. Appreciate it. So, with that, guys, Florida cops are searching for 2 guys who stole more than 1,000 gallons of gas this month. They did it in a 3-day period. They stole exactly 1,093 gallons of gas. And now this is a growing theft, if you will, or heist. They call it a fuel heist, without any guns, without anybody getting harmed. So what they are doing is they are driving over the gas tank caps, sorry. They're popping them open, and they're putting a suction device, or rather a tube, into the tank and suctioning gas out of it. Now, it took them 15 minutes to get 300 gallons of gas in that one incident, and they did it 2 more times after that. Again, guys, people are stealing gas all over the country. They're calling it the fuel heist. That's probably a term that they're going to start to coin, or phrase rather. Hundreds of gallons are being stolen all over the nation. In March, Florida men were nabbed for placing a device inside a gas pump to drop the price of gas to pennies on the dollar. Very, very smart. Now that I have no problem with them doing, because the gas companies are making money hand over fist while we're fucking giving our money to them hand over fist. And so if they mark the gas down, I don't have a problem with it. Though, again, stealing gas does create an issue because we feel it on the back end. For every time they steal gas, they deplete that store the gas company raised the prices even more. So it goes both ways. But whatever. If they're Robin Hooding the gas, all right, fuck it. But if they're not, yeah, then fuck them too. Because if they, I mean, and these guys are stealing it and reselling it. It's what they're doing. But I don't know, man. At this point in time, can you blame them? You know, everybody's not going to play fair. That is the world we live in. I know people like to sit there and go. Um, I know a lot of people like to sit there and go. You know, well, the crime. All I can say is that it's just we are entering an era, guys, where people are not going to be fair, and we don't live in that world, and people are not going to fall in line because you want them to. That's what I'm trying to say, and we're going to see more criminalistic shit, and that's not a word, but we're definitely going to see more bad shit. That's the bottom line. We're going to see people getting robbed for their gas at gunpoint. Right now, people are taking gas without having to harm anybody. But people are going to have to be vigilant about the crimes around them because it's going to go up everywhere, guys. Dove, thank you for the donation, man. Appreciate it. And so, all I'm saying, guys, if you're in your fucking vehicles, keep your head on a goddamn swivel. That's it. Keep your head on your swivel for your vehicle and the gas in your car. Now, obviously, if someone pulls a gun, just walk away. But it is, listen, my neighbor in the building told the wife and I the other day that he got robbed for his car, I think, last year, if I'm not mistaken. With that, man, and he was up in my parents' neck of the woods, which is in Washington Heights, and they stole his, they carjacked him at gunpoint, and he said he was, he was traumatized by it, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, I don't know, I wouldn't have been traumatized by it because it's expected. These are the days and age we're living in, guys. We're living in the age where we have to expect bad shit to happen to us. We can no longer walk around with our head up our ass thinking everything is hunky-dory and cool. And Frazio said they're still the catalytic converters as well. Yeah, guys, the shit's fucking on. All right, guys, do me a favor. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Whatever floats your boat. Just helps out with the algorithm, the channel, and all this other bullshit. So, yeah, guys, keep your head on a swivel. Keep your shit about you. Someone pulls up to you, has a gun on you. Just get out of your fucking car. Don't give them shit. Don't be like, yo, what the fuck? Just get out. Here you go. And then give them the driver manual too. And the driver manual is in the glove compartment if you want to know how to operate this vehicle. I'm already on edge again with the Tahoe 2020 fucking 2, the gas guzzling machine that I fucking bought at the wrong time. I have an odd feeling someone's going to try to jack me for mine. But I will address it accordingly when and if it happens. So, guys, with that, federal gas tax holiday. The Biden administration is considering instituting federal gas tax holiday, as the average price of gasoline, of regular gas, has now soared to $5 or above $5. And the White House economic team could take up the matter later this week, according to a report. Now, what the federal gas tax holiday is, guys, apparently the gas tax holiday, or the gas tax loophole, was a proposal made by John McCain and that asshole Hillary Clinton to suspend federal excise tax on gasoline from Memorial Day to Labor Day, and that was back in 2008. Now, if this does go into effect, if they do implement this, this can roughly save us over $30 over a 3-month period. $30 saved means that we can buy a can of fucking corned beef hash. Whoopee. If this goes into a, okay, so proponents argue that this potential reduction of price at the pump is about $18 cents a gallon for regular gas and 24 cents a gallon for diesel fuel. So obviously, guys, the pushback with this is the Obama administration argued that the oil companies would not significantly lower prices and would instead pocket most of the tax cut, effectively turning the cut into a tax loophole for them. So that's an interesting state that the Obama administration pointed out, that the gas company, now for them to do this, they would have to implement something on the gas companies, gasoline companies, to go along with this. Because if they don't cut the prices down, then yes, they'll pocket the money as they've been doing for the last I don't know how fucking long. Obviously, guys, this is going to affect because the U.S. Gas average has reached $5 for the first time ever in the nation's history. This is even higher than the 1971 gas shortage, if I'm not mistaken, right? So again, guys, we've never seen anything like this. We're seeing shit for the first time, and here's the worst problem about this. This is happening during the summer months. We are going to have a long, hot, and very expensive summer because of this shit. Now people who wanted to travel can't fucking travel. People who wanted to go to their cabin in the cooler fucking country, upstate New York or upstate wherever the fuck they live, can no longer do that because now gas is too goddamn high and they can't fucking go anywhere. Last corned beef. Yeah, Tiger. I just bought corned beef hash and it was fucking $4 a can. I was like, what? I bought it anyway because I'm like, I'd rather buy and have 3 cans now than wait next month for it to be $5 a can. So I bought it. I bought the 3 cans. It's spelled $12 on corned beef hash. I never in a million fucking years thought I would ever say I spent $12 on 3 cans of corned beef hash. So be it. Also, guys, we have a corn shortage rearing its ugly head, so food prices are going to spike yet again. So just hang on to your knickers, if you will, because the food prices is going to get fucking very, very expensive now that we have a wheat shortage, corn shortage, potato shortage, tampons are not food, and baby formula. This shit's rolling downhill fast. One side of me is not looking forward to this. Angels arrived. This was back when Obama was in office. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So get over it, please. One side of me is entertaining this, like, let's see how bad this is going to get. That's one side of me, and on one side of me is almost a little excited because this is what we've been preparing for. The other side of me is like, I hope we don't go down this fucking road because if we do, this is going to get ugly. A lot of people, guys, are not paying attention to what's going on and not paying attention to how ugly this is going to get. This is going to get exponentially bad. We're not seeing any kind of relief. The Biden administration is coming up with these half-stepping reliefs. The federal tax holiday bullshit is the federal gas tax holiday bullshit is bullshit. It's a temporary relief. We need a long-term relief, not a short-term. But the Biden administration doesn't want to don't want to come up with the solutions. Whatever. Now, moving right along, next last bit of news. Yellowstone, as a lot of you have been following. Why the fuck did I do that? Okay, Yellowstone said that they have considered closing down the northern part of Yellowstone, or rather, not considered, but it is being closed down indefinitely. So this is the northern section of Yellowstone. They had a considerable amount of damage due to quaking. I just saw that. Due to tremors, they said, historical flooding, mudslides, roads being washed away, building and housing structures being washed away as well. So now the northern section is closed. The southern section is going to remain open, but they are going to go to a ticketing system, because they need to keep track of how many people come in, and they don't want the southern section or the southern zone of Yellowstone to be overrun by people. Now, the combination of several inches of rain, snowpack melt, caused the rivers running near the park to reach historical flood stages, including Yellowstone River, Boulder River, and Stillwater River. Roads, like I said, wash away. Mudslides wash roads away and blocked roads as well. And this has a significant impact on the businesses on the northern end of Yellowstone, because the northern end thrives off the tourism, the money that comes in with the tourism. They don't want to reserve the thing they did. Okay, yeah, sorry. Just reading something else. Paradise Acres, I guess not. I guess people can't afford it. I mean, Yellowstone, I don't know what it costs to get inside, but with gas now, they were going to get less people anyway. I think they're going to have less visitors this year to boot. I think a lot of places, like beach towns, they're going to have a lot of less. They're going to have a lot less people visiting beach towns this year because gas is so high. I could see gas hitting $6, $7 in places like here, New York, Jersey, PA, or certain areas in PA. Sorry, certain areas in Connecticut. So we're going to start seeing that. And if you see it throughout Jersey, you're going to have less people traveling to like those beach towns or places people want to go to be cool or cooled off. So you're going to have a hot summer. You can't leave your fucking shithole of an area you live in, New York City. And you're going to be fucking roasting because we're probably going to have blackouts to boot or rolling blackouts to boot. We have more people. Now, we had less people in the city, so there shouldn't be a power problem. But I read an article a month ago or 2 months ago saying people are moving back in. So maybe we don't have the same numbers we did pre-COVID, which is good. So we should have less people draining the power system. But areas like, again, Texas, Arizona, Colorado, North Dakota, South Dakota, Michigan, Wisconsin, parts of Ohio and Idaho are going to be feeling the strain on the electrical grid system up there, and they're going to see blackouts. Not that they might, they're going to see blackouts, because why not? We are headed down such a shitty road. Might as well throw blackouts in the mix, and let's throw a little bit of hurricanes in there. Let's sprinkle some hurricanes along the East Coast this year, and compound everything with that. Now, for those of you that live in Hurricane Alley, if you will, do yourself a favor, start storing some gasoline aside for your generators. I know a lot of you are like, it's fucking expensive. Get the fucking gasoline. Suffer now, pay the price on the gasoline before gasoline goes up even more right before a hurricane. Because I can fucking all but guarantee you that if the East Coast gets pummeled by hurricanes, a lot of you guys are going to be fucking scratching your heads at the gas pump when it's $7 to $8. Do yourself a favor, pay for the fucking gas now, put it away, and designate it for your generators. The gasoline, I think, lasts about a year or so, if I'm not mistaken. You're a really depressing weatherman. Yes, I am. So, gasoline can last about a year. I know if you put the, what is that shit called? Mike, what the fuck is that called? The preservatives that you put in the gasoline to make it last long. If you put that in there, if you treat it, if you will, you can have it last a little longer. But get yourself the gasoline now. Don't wait till it's fucking, $6, $7, $8, $10, $20 a gallon. All right, guys, that's my my forecast for the stabilizer. When do you add? I think I would add the stabilizer in immediately. I don't think I would wait. But I'm not well versed on it. I just know that gasoline can last up to a year. If you put stabilizer in it, it'll draw it out. But if I'm not mistaken, if you're going to store it away, you can put it in immediately. Now, hurricane season is in about 3 months. Or rather, hurricane season started already. Excuse me. But you have July, August, September, October. So you have 4 months to store the gasoline. So if you get it now, you have 4 months before you're going to use it. Hurricane season can last up to the end of October. So just do the math, right? Gasoline will last 2 years with stabilizer. Thank you, Watchman. Watchman said gasoline will last 2 years with stabilizer. So if gasoline lasts a year on its own, stabilizer can bring it out to a year and a half to 2 years. Thank you for reminding me about that. If you rotate gas, no need to stabilize. Yarn Prepper said if you rotate the gas, no need. But right. Well, what I'm requesting people to do is set gasoline aside for your generators. Now, if you don't have a hurricane, then you have gasoline that can last up to 2 years, right? Or a year and a half, sorry. So either way, guys, just put the fucking gasoline away. Can I store gas in the back seat? No. Yeah, do not store gasoline in your car or in the back of your car. Don't do that. That's a bad idea. Put it in a shed or somewhere shaded and cool. Do not put it in your car. Yeah, that's bad news. Oki Khan said, yes, it'll last a while. You have to put stabilizer in. All right, thank you. Thank you for backing it up, guys. All right, guys. So anyway, but other than that, yeah, and also, guys, that's the same goes for tornado season. Put some gasoline away for your generators. You don't want to be assed out, guys. Trust me, you don't want to be assed out. And if you don't want to do the gasoline thing, look into solar generators. I'm going to be doing a solar generator video soon for blackouts, because that will also help you with saving gasoline, right? So the less, guys, you have to use, or the less power you have to pull out of your generator, from your gas generator, you can pull the rest of that power from your solar generator. Your renewable source is the sun. You do not have a renewable source with your gas generator, right? So keep that in mind, guys. K Teacher is asking, will stabilizer work for kerosene? I don't know. So let one of these people answer your question. I do not know. Dun, dun. Gas will last long if it stays cool. Yes, Watchman. Thank you. Dawn Wells, exactly. Never store it in your home. You got to store it outside. No, Anna and Farmer's Son Prepping, thank you for joining me today, by the way. He says no as well, so that's a no. Yeah, so EcoFlow sent me another device I'm going to do a video on. Guys, try to invest in some of this solar technology that's out there before the prices get too high and get out of reach. Bitcoin, I have the EcoFlow, I have the Eco River Flow. That's what they just sent me. So I'm coming up with a system for my solar generators. What I'm going to use them for and what I'm not going to use them for. So, and that's what the video is going to go over. It's going to go over what to use your solar generators, or what you should, rather, sorry. What you should use them for. All right, guys, other than that, I'm going to take my depressing news ass out of here. I'm going to, I guess, do a couple more videos today, maybe not, but I'm going to definitely write up the shows. I'm taking a break today. For those of you following the Angry Prepper Fitness channel, I haven't done a video because I pulled my back, but I will be doing videos next week and the following week for the ruck exercises that you could be doing. Other than that, guys, thank you for joining me this morning, and I do appreciate, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up on the way out. Other than that, guys, thank you for watching. And I did not watch the clock video yet. I'm going to watch it next. Thank you. Hudson Valley Prepping. Yes, Hudson Valley. Mike, by the way, do me a favor. Real quick in the chat, put the bug out weekend and when it is again, because I completely forgot. I know it's in July or the end of July. Hudson Valley Prepping is running a bug out weekend. So that's the end of July. Stay tuned to his channel and my channel. We will keep you up to date. Not keep you up to date. We will give you the dates of this bug out weekend again. Right, guys? Other than that, Mike is going to put it in the chat. The chat still has a couple of more minutes before it's killed. Right, guys? Other than that. Swole Survival. CrossFit is bad, but I fucked up on that CrossFit workout. I didn't set myself. Like anything, when you're lifting any weights, guys, heavy or not, you have to set yourself before you lift. I didn't set myself. I fucked my back up. That's what it came down to. And I'm old and fat. Anyway, so again, guys, July 30th to 31st in Akramdale, New York. That is going to be the bug out bag weekend. Mike and myself, and that's it. We will be mentioning it throughout the next couple coming weeks. All right, guys? Other than that, thank you for joining me.